back to my YouTube channel, Naomi. Welcome to our world, and I hope that you feel right at home while you're here on my channel. So in today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about protective styles, and more specifically, what are my favorite protective styles and what are my least favorite protective styles. So there are so many protective styles, probably way more than 20 or even way more than 30, who knows, right? There's just so many, but I'm going to be talking about from personal experience which ones that I preferred and then which ones I didn't really like, and maybe some of you can relate to this. And I'll be talking about a theory behind why certain protective styles are better than others, and just also talking about maybe the weather and how the weather plays a role in certain protective styles and how it might aid in growth or even backfire on you. So stay tuned if you want to hear my thoughts on that. So before I even get into the different types of protective styles, I'm going to try my best to keep this video under 20 minutes. Let's shoot for 15, because as if you're a subscriber to my channel, you know that I talk too much and I should really need to work on shortening the length of my videos. So let's shoot for 15. Alright, so first things first, what are protective styles? So some of you may know or may not know, protective styles are a way of protecting your hair from anything really. So most people say that protective styles are a way of protecting your ends. So from harsh material that you might be wearing, so whatever shirt you're wearing, your ends are rubbing against it. Even if your ends are rubbing against each other, if you're wearing your hair in a high puff, in a wash and go, those are just some of the ways that your hair might tangle at the end. So just giving your ends some break, and you can give it a break by giving it some extra TLC, so tender loving care, so moisturizing, sealing your ends, as well as just tucking it away. So you might braid it up, you might twist it, and then you're just rolling your hair into a bun, and that could be a short and sweet protective style. So tucking your ends away. Another way that you could protect your hair is from the sun. So that's another thing I learned from my hair journey as I'm continuing on. This is my year 2 of from shaving my natural hair. If you want to see that video, I can link it down below. And so the sunlight, right? So all those UV rays hitting the top of your hair, the crown, can cause breakage. So sometimes, especially during the hot weather, even though it's good to give your hair a break and wash it more frequently to stimulate the blood flow on your scalp and just making sure your follicles are being awakened. So sometimes you might want to tuck your hair away during the summertime because the sun is so hot and it's out a lot, and you just want to make sure you're not causing too much breakage on your crown area. So that just might be another way. Or just simply during the winter time, it's so cold outside, your hair is the most dry during winter, and you might want to protect it, and you might even wear wigs. So those are just some examples. So protecting your hair could go through so many, or can involve different ways or for different reasons. So it doesn't just have to be you protecting your ends. It could also be you protecting your hair from heat or heat damage. So for example, let's say you don't want your hair to get heat damage, right? Or you don't want to suffer from that. You might put on a straight wig if you don't feel like flat ironing your hair. Or you might protect your hair from heat damage if your hair is already damaged and you're just trying to grow it back out. And then there's different types of protective styles as well. There's low manipulation, low tension, and so I could get into that a little bit before I go into the different hairstyles. So low manipulation, what I would consider is low manipulation to either put into the style, or it's not causing as much tension on your hair. Oh, sorry, not as much tension, but as much work to manipulate your hair after you put in the style. So you're not pulling your hair to and fro, you're just leaving it in its state, and once it's put away, that is it. So for me, low manipulation I would consider are mini twists, and I wear my mini twists underneath my wig. So underneath my wig, this is a wig right now, my hair is in mini twist. So I would consider that a low manipulation style because I only mini twisted it and I just tucked it under, it's tucked under my wig, and I'm not going to touch it again unless it's time to moisturize my hair. So that I would consider to be low manipulation. And I would even add as low tension because it's not tugging on my hair, it's not tugging on my edges either. So those are just some examples. And my mind is running blank right now, so I'm going to leave a comment right now or a subtitle as to what could be an example of a low tension hairstyle. Honestly, I would consider mini twist as low tension as well. Another low manipulation I would say is buns because it's pulled back. I might not add that as low tension, only because some people might do their buns too tight. So it really just depends. So, you know, I'll say mini twists are low manipulation, low tension, and maybe box braids could be considered low manipulation. And now that I said box braids, let's go into my favorite protective styles and my least favorite. So I'm giving you guys 5, and why I narrowed it down into 5 is because, for example, crochet, there's different types of crochet styles, or you could crochet your hair in different ways. You can do butterfly locks, and you can crochet the hair into the faux hair or the fake hair into your actual hair, or you can do the same with Marley twists. There's so many ways that crochet can go about. So crochet is just kind of like a broad term. But the first one I'll talk about right now is box braids, and that's coming in a strong and a hot and a stop breaking my edges and a stop making my hair not grow, number 5. So that is my least favorite protective style that I've personally tried. And again, guys, in this video I'm going to talk about the protective styles that I've tried and the ones I like the most and I like the least. And box braids unfortunately come in at number 5. And I know a lot of naturals, or even people who are trying to grow out their hair or they want to give their hair a break, use box braids and they love it. But for me, it is just a no-go. And I'll just start off from the beginning when I first started it. And I also will include pictures so you can see what I mean. So my first time trying box braids, it was in 2015, I believe. And I was going on a family trip with my family to Aruba, and that was the first time I got box braids. I thought it was so cute. But when I took out my hair, I kept it in for, I want to say, 1 month, 1.5 to 2 months. And when I took out the box braids, I had no growth. It didn't look like my hair grew. And for some reason, I feel as though whenever my hair is braided or it's in cornrows, nothing happens. Or my hair is growing from the root, right? But whenever I pull out my hair or pull it down to check to see, okay, did the length travel down? That never happened. So it might be a way of how the box braids used to be installed. And again, guys, I've had box braids from 2015 to I think the last time I put box braids in my hair might have been, or some type of style like that, was 2020. So on and off 2015 to 2020, and each time I put in the style, I've received no type of growth, or it didn't seem as if my hair was growing. And again, guys, hair is always growing, so it's a matter of me not retaining the length. So here's a couple of reasons why I think my hair wasn't retaining length. My hair grows in different lengths. I've talked about this a couple of times in my videos, and because my hair grows in different lengths, I personally believe that whenever I'm trimming my hair, whenever I'm putting it in a protective style, I like to section my hair in parts that I know my hair is the same length as other parts. And why might I do that? Because then I know, okay, this part or this section is getting the attention it deserves, and so is the other section. So for example, the crown of my hair is not the same length as the back of my hair. Sometimes when I would get box braids done, in order to get the style done, the stylist or whoever's doing my hair, they will pull my hair and try and match it with different parts. So even the mid part, so I believe there's a crown area and then there's a mid crown, so which I could talk about in a different video in terms of wash day. So now, even for my wash day routines, I split my crown into 2 sections, because even there the lengths do not grow the same. So if I'm getting box braids done and the stylist is taking my mid crown and trying to put the hair with the back of my hair, which is near the kitchen, that's causing unnecessary tension, or it's forcing my hair to go in parts that doesn't really belong. So the back of my hair might look like it's growing or looks like it retained length, but the mid crown area might not look like it because it's being forced there, and it doesn't belong there, and it's just probably breaking off, and it's probably a lot of tension going on there. So it's really important that you're talking to your stylist and saying, like, hey, like, this is how my hair grows. Or even when you're putting in the style yourself, if you know you have tend to get breakage in more areas than other, you want to take your time doing box braids or any type of style of that matter. So that's what I noticed with box braids. I think also when I would take it down, I never ran into the issue of me cutting off my length, because I always was aware where my hair would stop. and I knew my hair wasn't gonna grow in box braids. Honestly, to be honest, I never worried about me accidentally cutting off length, but I think maybe sometimes I might even rush through the process. So maybe rushing through taking out box braids. I think during that time, it didn't occur to me how to remove a protective style, but now I'm more aware, so I take my time now. And also, I probably didn't used to moisturize my hair properly. Moisturizing your hair when you have a protective style is very, very, very important. And I say this because a lot of times people tend to just leave their hair alone when they have a protective style because they want to preserve the hair. That shouldn't be the case. You need to oil your scalp, you need to moisturize your hair, because this will also make the takedown process even easier for you. And another thing is, I would say about box braids, because people want to preserve the style, sometimes we would take gel, and especially for me, I have a lot of flyaways at the top, the crown of my hair. I'll take a little bit of gel and try to slick it down, and that's also causing, or can cause, breakage, because you're just continuously slicking down the same parts, even at your edges. And when you're taking out the protective style now, it causes even more damage, or it's more difficult to take out due to that product buildup. And another thing I would like to add, so some of you might be saying, well, that's your fault that your hair isn't growing in protective styles because of how I didn't give myself more attention when I had box braids or the way I took it down. But I really do believe my hair just tends to not grow as fast, or I'm not achieving the length that I should be achieving when I have box braids, and I'll talk about it in a little second. Another thing is, I noticed with box braids or any type of protective style, I no longer wash my hair when it's a protective style. So some of you might say that's nasty, but here's why. Box braids are very heavy. So whenever I'm washing my hair and it's in box braids, I believe that all that water that's weighing down in my hair is pulling my hair down, tangling it up. So my most recent style, the lemonade braids, I could insert a picture, my aunt did it for me. I decided not to wash my hair in that protective style, and I believe why, when I took out that style a couple of weeks later, my hair remained healthy, and it was such a smoother takedown process because my hair didn't have tangles because I didn't wash it during that time. So if you are very prone to tangles and you think your hair breaks a lot in protective styles, try not washing your hair. Or if you do need to wash your hair, which I'll talk about in later on in the video, make an apple cider vinegar rinse. So take a little bit of apple cider vinegar, put it in a cup or a spray bottle, and then fill the rest up with water. You can add a little bit of tea tree oil to really help stimulate your scalp, and or allow that little tingle, right, for hair growth, and that will really allow your scalp to be cleansed in a more natural way. And because I mostly use natural ingredients on my hair, or I only use natural ingredients on my hair, I'm not prone to as much buildup, and because of that, I'm able to use such a rinse on my hair because I don't have that much buildup, and I wouldn't have to use a store-bought product to get rid of all that gunk. So if you're like me in that case, you might want to try that. So that's how I feel about box braids. And another thing is to add on to that, to even attest why I do not prefer box braids on my hair. I did a test a couple weeks ago, or maybe more recently. I did a test between mini twists and mini braids on my hair, and even though mini braids are easier to install, they're faster to install, and even the takedown process is easier, my hair feels so dry at the ends. And so even though my roots might like it and my strands, and again guys, like, just because one part of your hair might like one product or one style more than another part of your hair may not like it, and that really goes to show how much you really need to learn about your hair. My ends do not like to be braided. Anytime I take out the style, my hair looks more finer, it looks thinner, it always looks like I need a trim, it always feels like I need a trim. So I'm not sure if it's because the moisture is not being retained as much in that style, or maybe it's because it's too much hair put together. I'm still trying to figure out why, but I noticed that. But whenever my hair is a mini twist, my hair feels more moisturized after. My hair never feels as though I need to trim after. It's just much better experience. So that's why box braids for me come in at number 5. Number 4, I would say, are buns. So buns I would consider to be a low manipulation hairstyle. You're pulling it back, put it up. I can insert a picture here. So what I did this past school year is, I'm a teacher, by the way, I can make a video if you guys are interested on that. I put my hair into a high puff, and I mini twisted the parts that were remaining, or from the high puff, the hair that was exposed, I mini twisted all those around, and I put it into a in a bun. And why I did that is because whenever my hair is in a high puff, although I love that style so much, whenever I coil the ends to make it look like a curly little high puff, my ends really tangle with each other, and because of that, then I'm more prone to split ends, to single strand knots, and that's never the best experience ever, or the best experience, because then you're gonna have to end up trimming your hair, especially as time goes along. So what I decided to do this time around was to mini twist my ends, and I found by doing that my hair was more moisturized when I took out the bun, and whenever I was ready to take it out, then I had my cute little curly little or coily high puff. So by twisting the ends, you're able to wear your hair in a low manipulation hairstyle, and your ends are being protected. So I really like that. But why buns are coming up at number 4 is, depending on how you do the style, it can not be considered a low tension hairstyle, and here's why. When you're doing buns, especially high buns, you're pulling your hair up, right? And your edges might suffer a bit, especially if you like to slick it down a lot, if you're pulling it really tight. I know this time around in my hair journey, which never used to happen before, whenever I put my hair into a high puff, it would always feel like I had tension in my edges, which I can't understand why. That never used to happen before. So it just goes to show how your hair could change after you shave it, or as you're transitioning different periods of your life, but who knows. Yeah, a lot of tension in that area, so you want to be mindful of how you're pulling your hair, and you shouldn't keep your hair in the same style for long periods of time, because then not that your hair would get used to it, but you might be causing breakage in some area more than others. So especially where your hair is being kept, or where the tie is being wrapped around in the same placement. So again, like your crown area, or like even the front of your hair. So pretend I put my hair up. This part here, if you can imagine, the tie, especially if the hair tie is too tight, you have it just putting pressure there, and then when you pull out your hair later on, then you might realize, okay, why do I have shorter pieces here and there? And that might be why. So again, buns could be great, but just be mindful if you feel any tension, because like your body speaks to you, your hair also speaks to you, and if it's pulling on you, take out the style. And I could also insert another picture to spice it up if you don't want to just do a bun and you want to make it look a little cute. You can add tendrils, and I can add a video or make a tutorial on this. You take a crochet needle and you take whatever fake hair you have and crochet it to the front of your hair, and you'll have cute little tendrils. Yes, so I love this style. Next, for number 3 is crochet. And like I said in the beginning of the video, crochet could come in many different forms. You could do butterfly locks, you can do curly crochet hairstyle, you could do faux locks. Yeah, there's just so many, and I can insert pictures here. And why I like crochet is because your hair is not on your shoulders, your hair could be tucked away. So this curly hair I have in this picture here, my hair, the braiding pattern I could look for a picture, I had it almost like a beehive going all the way around, and my hair was essentially tucked away, and I was just able to put the hair through the needle, and I was able to just rock the hair like that. I still had access to my scalp, so I was able to put oil in my hair. The only thing is, with curly crochet wig, I think the first time around I did end up washing my hair in that style. I don't know how I did not receive any breakage, but just goes to show that okay, so I'm at the 18 mark. Okay, let's try and get this under 25 minutes or under 30. We're gonna try our best. Alright, so yeah, so like where I left off, so the first time around I didn't receive any breakage from washing my hair. I'm not sure as to why not. Maybe it's because of the quality of the curly crochet, but the second time around I just saw how it was installed, and I didn't like it as much as I did the first time I did it. It was also a different hair pack, so I just knew, okay. Also, I did 2 more curly crochet after the first one. I didn't like it both times around. So I think curly crochet, it really depends on the quality of the hair. That'll make the experience a whole lot better. And I can insert both pictures. The first one, it looked more natural, and I don't know, I just preferred that quality against my hair. And just in terms of tangles, like I rarely ran into tangles. The other 2 hair, I was always trimming it. So I think curly crochet could work well depending on the quality you get. And it doesn't even have to be something expensive. It could be really cheap hair, but for some reason I just really didn't like my experience with the other 2, and I just knew, okay, I could not wash it. So curly crochet could work. Just really depends on the braiding pattern you have underneath and the quality of the wig and also the install process. So taking your time, because because especially the braiding pattern, right? If you have the beehive hair, when you're putting the needle through your hair and using the fake hair, you're essentially pushing it through so it could get to your hair, and you're going to pull it back down, and that might be causing tension in different areas of your hair. So make sure that when you first put in the braiding pattern, whatever braiding pattern you choose, that it feels fine, and then when you're pulling it through your hair, it also feels fine. Because sometimes we tend, when we're doing curly crochet or any type of crochet style, that we don't pay too much attention to how our hair feels when we're pulling it through, because we just want to get to the style. And this is why I personally prefer either faux locks or butterfly locks more when I'm doing crochet, because you're now dealing with individual sections. So with butterfly locks, I can see if I can find a picture. For example, you can section off your hair into many sections, and you will use a rubber band, which tip, my friend told me, if you oil the rubber band and you put it in your hair, when you're taking it down, it will not cause breakage or as much breakage, because the oil allows it to just glide through your hair, and sometimes you could just literally pull it down. The oil stays, and I kept my butterfly locks in for about 1.5 to 2 months, and I had a really good experience with it. So you do not have to worry about the rubber bands breaking up your hair. That was my concern at first, but it was a good experience. So I say all that to say that you're putting the rubber bands in different sections, so you could have probably, maybe depending on how you want to do the butterfly locks, 20 to 40 individual twists. And when you're putting the crochet through your hair now, you only have to worry about different sections when you get to that section, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, this section's gonna get damaged altogether, or I'm pulling my hair through this part. No, you're literally tending to different parts. So that's what I like about butterfly locks. And again, you still have access to your scalp, so that is perfect, and I love that. Number 2, I really like, oh, and I should also add, anytime I had a style like butterfly locks and faux locks, I did notice growth at the end, or it did appear that I retained the length, and I think it's because my hair was tucked away. And also what I noticed with butterfly locks, the way it is, you are wrapping your hair, you're wrapping the fake hair around your actual hair, so your hair is not exposed at all. So again, to show you, with box braids, your hair is touching the fake hair, and the fake hair tends to be dry, so that could also be drying out your hair. Now some of you may not say that, but I'm starting to think that might also be the culprit with box braids, so that might be drying out your hair. And even though I liked passion twist as well, I feel as though I sometimes ran into the same experience, or my hair didn't really seem to grow as much with passion twist either. But I also don't think I left it in that long, but that's besides the point. So now maybe the issue box braids. But for butterfly locks and even faux locks, your hair is being tucked away by the wrapping of the hair. So that's a great protective style, because your hair is not exposed at all. Even though if your hair might be longer, so some of you might be saying, oh, well, what about my hair touching the shirt? The fake hair is being wrapped around your actual hair, so you don't have to worry about that at all. The only thing you have to worry about that style is the tension, and just being mindful of any tangles, and of course the takedown process. So with butterfly locks, especially if your hair is shorter, you really want to be careful you're not cutting off your actual hair, especially if your hair is the same length as the butterfly lock. So just be mindful of that. Number 2, need I say more? Wigs, right? And you can even look over here. I think you could see my wigs somewhere over there. Wigs are a great form of protective style, once again, when done correctly. So I hope as you're listening to me talk, even though I may be saying these are my favorite protective styles, a lot of the times when you do try protective style for the first time, you might have a great experience, or you might really want to try another style again. It's just a matter of making it work for you. So I love wigs as a form of protective style. And I think this is a great way, and my main way of growing out my hair, because my hair is all around protected. So for example, when I first started wearing wigs, so that was around my sophomore year of college, I would just put on the wig. Yes, I did used to use a wig cap, and I would just oil my scalp, and I would just take out my hair and do it again. The same process, leave my hair out sometimes, and I would always braid my hair. So I did this about sophomore year to junior. Then my senior year of college, I realized that mini twists, or sorry, junior year of college, I realized I really ended up liking mini twists, right? So before, I used to just change up braiding patterns. My sophomore year of college, I used to do cornrows, and again, going back to braiding patterns, my hair seems to always be dry and braids for some reason, especially my ends. So cornrows, but even though my hair did appear to be growing, I would always have to trim more often than usual. So I was retaining the length, but it just always seemed as if I had to trim, and I would have to trim so much. And so again, junior came along, wearing wigs, changed a braiding up pattern, still braiding my hair, just a different form of braids, and again, still the same dryness on my ends. When I finally got around to mini twists, then my senior year of college, and I started mini twisting my hair under my wigs. I don't know if that many people wear their hair under mini twists under wigs, but if you do not, you should, and here's why. Mini twist, instead of the 3 strands you're taking to braid your hair down, you're only using 2 strands, and more often than not, the 2 strands, of course, match with one another. And I don't know, I just think mini twists are just so much, I personally think they're easier to install. You're only 2 strand twisting it. When you're taking it out, it's probably easier because you just have to literally separate the 2. I really have to look into this some more. I just really prefer mini twists. I really think they keep my hair more moisturized, and I don't know if it's because it's less hair that's put together, because again, like I said before, the braids is 3 strands, mini twists is 2, and I think because they're just close to each other that they're just able to stay moisturized, and it's less strands you have to worry about drying out. I don't know if that makes any sense. What else could it be? Yeah, I just think mini twists are better. I really just prefer them. So I'll mini twist my hair under my wigs, and my hair would always feel moisturized after I take it down. I also think, so a lot of people might say that their hair seems to grow faster when it's locked. I think because mini twists sometimes can resemble locks, or just that process of it twisting up together, I think, which I'm going to do more research on as well, so I could come back to you guys to talk about why I think mini twists are better. I think it resembles the lock process, and it really just does well with the growth of our hair and how it moves down the strand. And yeah, I think that might be part of it, and again, I will do more research on that and then come back to you guys. So I will mini twist my hair, put it on my wig, and I will oil my scalp, and I'll moisturize it, and I'll do the same thing over. And again, like I told you guys before, I'm really starting to figure out different ways to finesse and just encourage more growth in my hair. So as I mentioned in my other video, I don't know if you can see it, so my wig cap underneath, right, it's a wig cap underneath. I have a satin scarf, and Green Beauty, I can link it down below, to her channel. She talked about if you are experiencing breakage at the crown of your hair, to sew a satin scarf either under your wig, and then I thought, okay, maybe I could do it to my wig cap. By doing this, your hair is moisturized underneath. So wig caps, I think personally, can tend to dry out your hair, but when you moisturize your hair and you put on the wig cap after with the satin scarf underneath, all that moisture is still there, because they say, you know, sleep with a satin scarf, sleep with a satin pillowcase, the moisture is still there. And even if you look on your scarf afterwards, you see the oiliness, because that's just to show you how much your hair was retaining that oil and that moisture. So you could do that. And also, 1 or 2 times I started deep conditioning, or doing hot oil treatment underneath my wig, and you can't tell what's going on. So again, I think this is just all around a great style, great way of promoting hair growth, great way of protecting your ends, but of course it's all in moderation. So another thing is, with wigs, I would say pick styles that mimic your hair texture. So for example, or your wig expertise. So I'm not the best at installing wigs. I prefer glueless wigs, because I don't have to worry about gluing my hair to my scalp, no worry damage there. This is a headband wig. I could just put the headband on and then take it off at night and just again oil my scalp. And then if you were like me, I used to sleep with the wig on because I was just so lazy trying to wake up early to fix it for work. Take off your wigs at night. Please give your hair a break during the day. By giving your hair a break during the day, you don't forget about your hair. Not that I was, but for some of you that might forget, you're really able to give your hair that attention. You're letting your scalp breathe, so don't forget to do that as well. And then, like I said before, if your braiding pattern, you notice that your your hair doesn't seem to be growing, try mini twists. Another thing with wigs, I would say, again, going back to picking a wig that's similar to your hair texture, you don't have to worry so much about, oh my gosh, it's not blending, it doesn't look as natural. This, I would say, is probably a little bit looser than my actual hair texture and how my hair looked before shaving it. So because I have a wig that resembles my old hair texture, or how it was before I shaved it, I think that it makes it a little bit easier for me to put it on. Some people think it's mine, and I don't have to worry about, okay, my edges, this is showing, like even this part here, like you could see like the headband, but I'm not worried because it could look like it's mine, if that makes any sense. And that's all I have to say, I think, for wigs. And coming in as number one, mini twist. And mini twists, why mini twists are so great is you can even wear it out without a wig. I was talking to my friend about this. I'm really trying to get more comfortable wearing my mini twists out. I have a whole video, I can link it down below, before I shaved my hair, of how I used to wear my hair in mini twists when it was about shoulder length, and it looked super cute. I really loved how it looked, but I'm at an awkward length right now, so I don't really feel too comfortable wearing it out. But once I do, I will start wearing it back out. Yesterday I did wear it in 2 little puffs, and it looked super cute, and I felt comfortable wearing it. But yeah, like I was saying before with mini twists, your ends are being protected, your ends are being protected. I don't know what else to say. It's easy to moisturize, it's easy to install, easy to take down. You get to put it in different cute styles without having to worry about breakage, because your ends are really being protected. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about mini twists. I just think they're the best. And what I really want to start incorporating for year 2 to year 3 is Marley twists. I hear a lot of or a good amount of YouTubers talking about Marley twists and how it helped to grow out their hair. And with mini twists, what I like is, again, it resembles the idea of how Marley twists look, and just the 2-strand twisting down. So if my hair is being mini twisted and it goes down length, then the Marley twist will be protecting the outside or the outer layer of my mini twist. So I really want to check out that style and see what it does for my hair and my hair growth. I figured it out. I'm going to insert this clip in. I'm going to do more research, kind of want to seem like as though I'm just talking about nonsense, but I think there's a historical, mostly spiritual reason as to why mini twists might grow your hair faster. And part of it, I think, is because our hair, or specifically type 4 hair, I think is meant to be free. And free from conformity, free from thinking that, okay, mini twists don't look cute, or mini twists make my hair look some type of way. I think our hair is supposed to just do what it's supposed to do, which is, again, I keep saying the word free, but essentially be free. And I think our hair, not that we're supposed to have locks, and again, this is going into a whole spiritual conversation that I could talk about in another video, but I think our hair is supposed to lock up in a sense, and may not be lock up forever as in getting locks, but as in just doing what it's supposed to do. It will get tangled. It will try to go with another hair strand. It will try to hug another hair strand, twist up. That's just how our hair is. And sometimes we try to disrupt that. How do we try to disrupt that? Using gels, combing our hair, and then I don't even mean finger detangling, because that's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about combing it, like rough combing it, to make it as stretched out as possible, when really our hair just wants to be free and just be with one another. And I think once some naturals or some people realize that, they'll see a change in their hair. And even said, now what I do whenever I notice I have breakage in one area, or I notice one part needs to grow. When I had the bald spot here, if you guys remember that video, I can link it down below, I mini twisted the hair that was affected, and by mini twisting it, I was able to pay specific attention to that part. And if some of you might notice, you can see the same thing when your hair is braided too. with mini twists, I think that when your hair is thickening up or when it's growing back, you could really see the health and the difference between the root and towards the ends of the hair, if that makes any sense. So again, I think there's a whole so there has to be more. I know there's more, and I'll probably break it down more into another video, but that's part of what I guess I was trying to put together all along. And I do think it helps reduce breakage, again, because your hair is really kept together with another section. So mini twists are where it's at. So yeah, I know I rambled a lot. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, if you want some more clarification, especially about the mini twists, please let me know, and I will formulate my thoughts better in the description box or in a comment down below. But those are my 5 ranks for the protective styles that I've personally tried. And if you want to try those, or if you want to revamp it to either fit your interests or your style, go ahead, feel free to do so. If you didn't agree with me, let me know too. If you do agree with me, also let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. This is my YouTube channel, Naomi's Niche, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.